I transmigrated into a wealthy side character in a fake heiress story. My mission was to save the future villainous adopted daughter who would violate almost the entire criminal code, helping her find happiness to prevent her from turning evil. I brought her home and taught her from a young age to abide by the law, to take humanity as the root, to become a pure white lotus, kind and virtuous under my guidance. She grew up bright and wholesome, transforming from a villain seeking death into the male lead's white moonlight. Her hobby besides helping old ladies cross the road was donating to disaster-stricken areas, easily capturing hearts. The male lead, Ethan, was immediately smitten. Just when I thought she was about to marry the male lead and achieve happiness, the real heiress confessed to me. Then, my adopted daughter went dark, saying, "If you choose someone else, brother, I can only lock you up so no one else can see you." Only then did I realize she had been a villain from childhood. Her white lotus appearance was just an act. "Look at Ethan lately. I keep dreaming about Ethan," Lily pouted, complaining to me with a hint of grievance. Ethan was the male lead of this novel, and Lily was the villainous adopted daughter. Hearing Lily say this, I knew the plot was about to begin. I transmigrated into a wealthy side character in a fake heiress story. The mission was to prevent the villainous adopted daughter from turning evil, ensuring her happiness value reached the maximum, as the original story's ending was Lily loving Ethan but being unrequited, ultimately perishing in a fire. Currently, the plot had just begun. Because of the male lead's aura, Lily had started dreaming about Ethan, showing that the power of the plot was indeed not to be underestimated. Anyway, he's a classmate, and a handsome classmate at that. Dreaming about him is normal. I tousled her hair. "Breakfast is on the dining table. Let's eat. Brother is much more handsome than him." "If you're going to dream, you should dream about brother." She stuck her tongue out at me, making a face, looking pure and lovely, completely different from the gloomy and extreme villainous adopted daughter in the book. This was the 10th year I had been in this world, and also the 10th year I had brought Lily home to raise as my younger sister. It seemed my mission was progressing quite well. Currently, she had happily entered university. Her happiness value was 60. Waiting for her to graduate smoothly and conquer the male lead. When her happiness value reached 100, I could return to my original world. After eating, I went to school with her. My identity in this world was only 1 year older than Lily. To take better care of her, I had delayed my enrollment and studied in the same class as her. Now, it was the first year's opening ceremony, and the plot was officially unfolding. The male lead Ethan and the two heiresses, real and fake, these three important characters were finally meeting. Sure enough, during class break, Rose came over and took Lily's hand. "Lily, you are the child who was mistakenly switched at birth with the Tran family, right?" Lily looked at her suspiciously for a moment, then nodded. "Back then, it was me and you who were switched. I am Lily. After we switched back, we often met and played together. Do you remember?" Hearing Rose say this, the corner of Lily's mouth slightly curved up, forming a sweet smile. "Of course I remember. You were only 1 day older than me. You even said you wanted to be my older sister." Rose excitedly hugged her. "It's just a pity that afterwards I went to the Tran family to find you, but you were no longer there. I heard you were taken to an orphanage by Mrs. Tran, and I don't know if you've been living well these years." Both the Tran and Luke families were prominent families in Cloud City, but Lily was the illegitimate daughter of the Tran family and was not valued. Rose, on the other hand, was the beloved daughter of the Luke family. Their statuses were vastly different from birth, especially after Lily returned to the Tran family. She was directly sent to an orphanage by Mrs. Tran, who discovered the truth at that time. In principle, even if the Tran family later welcomed Lily back, giving her a life of wealth and luxury, her days in the orphanage were a lifelong nightmare for her. Fortunately, I transmigrated in time. The day she was sent to the orphanage, I took her away. Lily smiled at Rose, then raised her head to look at me, her eyes sparkling. "The first day I arrived at the orphanage, brother brought me home. I've been living very well these years." Rose followed her gaze to look at me. A strange expression flashed across her face, but that expression quickly disappeared. She looked at me, the corner of her mouth curving up. "I treat Lily like my own sister. You helping her is like helping the Luke family. In the future, if you need my help with anything, please don't hesitate." Rose was the type of female lead with a pure, white lotus persona. She would care about anyone, but if she had truly cared about Lily back then, how could Lily in the original story have spent her entire childhood in an orphanage? Money can solve 99% of problems, and the remaining 1% is probably due to not enough money. To ensure the mission was completed smoothly, the system had given me enough capital. I really didn't need the Luke family's help with anything. I smiled and shook my head, not responding. Unexpectedly, after school in the evening, Rose brought her mother along to invite Lily and me to play at the Luke family's house. Lily was the type of person who didn't quite know how to refuse others and immediately looked at me, wanting my consent, so I nodded to her, and we got into the car together to go to the Luke family's house. In the original story, there was also this scene. Lily had stayed at the Luke family for 8 years. From the age of 8 onwards, she no longer received family warmth. Yet, 10 years later, at 18, she once again stepped into the Luke family's house. She was just an outsider, indifferently watching her former parents dote on their real daughter, joking with her, while being polite and distant to herself, treating her like a guest. This trip to the Luke family's house was Lily's first step towards turning evil in the original story. She began to feel jealous, even a little resentful of Rose, feeling that Rose had stolen her parents. But in this life, I didn't let Lily grow up alone in an orphanage. Currently, she lacked no love. Instead, she was a kind, confident, and self-respecting girl. Mrs. Luke ordered many dishes from a 5-star hotel. Rose opened her mouth to complain. "Mom, didn't you say today you would personally cook?" Mrs. Luke explained, "Today Lily is visiting. Mom is worried she might not be used to my cooking. Mom only personally cooks once a week, and you already can't get enough of it. Then tomorrow can Mom make chrysanthemum tofu for me?" Rose continued to ask. Mrs. Luke indulgently nodded. Okay. Tomorrow I will definitely make it for you." Rose happily raised her hand for a high five, then looked at Lily. "Lily, you don't know. I think my mom cooks even better than 5-star chefs, but my mom doesn't think so. I think this is probably the taste of love." Lily in the original story, seeing the scene of their mother and daughter interacting, was immediately strongly stimulated. Mrs. Luke's love used to belong to her. It was just a pity that now she could no longer eat the food cooked by her own hands. But Lily now was clearly different from in the book. She looked at me and smiled, her eyes sparkling. "Brother, I also think your cooking is very ordinary, but I really like it." Rose was surprised. "Wow, Lily, you even know how to cook? And so well? Lily, you are so lucky to have a brother like you." Rose exclaimed in surprise. Lily, with a happy expression, nodded. "Yes, from childhood until now, brother has always cooked for me. The food he cooks is the best. In my previous life, I was an ordinary working person. Good food outside was expensive, and cheap food made me worry about food safety issues, so I always cooked myself. After transmigrating here, I had found several housekeepers for Lily, but she didn't like any of them. I had no choice but to cook myself, but I felt the food I made could only barely fill the stomach. Definitely not anything delicious, but Lily really liked eating it. Every time I cooked, she would eat it all up. "Ethan, if there's a chance, I also want to try your cooking. Next time I come to your house to play, don't forget to make me some delicious dishes," Rose said jokingly. "No way," Lily frowned. "The food my brother cooks is only for me to eat." Mrs. Luke hurriedly spoke up to ease the awkwardness and started praising me, then the Tran family, saying they had taken Lily away, and because of the relationship with Mrs. Tran, they were not in a position to take too much care of Lily. "For so many years without any news of her, it's really thanks to you, Ethan." On the way home, Lily linked arms with me, sighing with emotion. "Brother, when I was little, I also often wondered why I didn't have parents who loved me, but now I feel that having you is enough. Other people are not important." She raised her head to look at me, a light flashing in her eyes that I didn't understand. At that moment, I suddenly felt that she was not just a character in a book that I had to save while on a mission, but a little girl rescued by me. The story of this book was very cliched and trite. Clearly, later on, the male lead Ethan and Lily had a marriage contract, but he preferred the kind Rose. To help Lily successfully conquer the male lead later, from a young age, I had taught Lily to be a kind person. Currently, she dared to help old people who were hit by cars. All her pocket money was donated to children in mountainous regions, and in class, she was also very helpful, just like a little son. Yes, Lily now was even kinder than the female lead. Besides studying, her mind was full of charity, truly like she had been installed with a lay phone system. After studying for half a semester, Lily, because of her outstanding appearance and easygoing personality, almost became the darling of the whole class. In the original story, This position originally belonged to the female lead Rose. Lily even suffered from school bullying a few times because of her outstanding appearance and beautiful looks. It seemed that personality indeed determined fate. The mission was progressing very smoothly. The male lead, Ethan, even started asking me about Lily's thoughts on him, asking me to speak well of him in front of Lily. "Lily, what do you think of Ethan?" One weekend, I took Lily for a walk in the park and casually asked. "Not kind enough. Last time an old lady fell, he didn't help her up." My mouth twitched, and for a moment I didn't know what to say. After a while, I continued to ask, "If he liked you, what would you think?" Lily widened her eyes, then narrowed them. "Easy to fall." Lily snorted coldly. "Didn't brother say we should study hard while in school?" But Ethan is not like brother. He is the male lead, the target we need to conquer. Just as I racked my brains, wanting to point out Ethan's differences, to say a few good words for him, Lily interrupted me. "Brother, I don't like him. Now I just want to study harder. Except for you. Everyone else in the world is the same to me." What was going on? This was not in line with the original plot. Clearly, Lily in the book loved him to death. I sighed. It seemed I could only think of other ways to market Ethan to Lily later. So, Ethan really liked Lily, always following behind her, giving her all kinds of gifts every day. I told Ethan that Lily felt he wasn't kind enough, not helping the fallen old lady. So, on the same day, he helped up 100 old ladies and was cheated out of 8 yuan and 8 cents. After the male lead went crazy, the female lead also started going crazy. Rose had been clinging to me lately, almost squeezing in to eat with us every day. Wasn't it that in the original story she also liked Ethan? Why did it seem like Ethan had suddenly lost the male lead aura? So, one day, taking advantage of Lily's absence, I finally couldn't help but ask Rose, "You've been clinging to me every day. Could it be that you like me?" I didn't expect her to very seriously nod her head. "Yes." As she spoke, she took my hand. "How about we be together?" As a result, at this moment, the corner of my eye caught sight of Lily walking over. I hurriedly pulled my hand back, retreating 2 steps. Lily, what were you two secretly doing behind my back just now?" Lily came over and asked. "Nothing. Let's go eat," I hurriedly explained. Rose looked at me, raising her eyebrows meaningfully. I thought this time it was just Rose being momentarily impulsive. After all, the female lead should be attracted to the male lead, not me, a side character. But unexpectedly, she seemed determined to be with me, and confessed to me a few more times. "We are still students now. I just want to study harder." I once again rejected her. "Why? What do you like about me?" "Because you are a side character not controlled by the plot," Rose shrugged, deciding to make it clear. "Stop pretending. In this world, besides you and me, other people are NPCs, including the male lead Ethan. They fundamentally don't have their own thoughts." She sighed. "I just want to be with someone who has thoughts." I didn't expect Rose, as the female lead, to have awakened. My jaw dropped, and for a long time, I didn't know what to say. This was not a good phenomenon. Awakened people were likely to become uncontrollable factors, causing my mission to fail. Seeing I didn't say anything, she stared at me and continued to say, "I awakened when I was little." Everyone else follows the plot mechanically. What's funny is they fundamentally don't believe in the fate written by the author, and even think it's a life they chose themselves. Until I met you. Her gaze at me became hotter and hotter. "You are a character outside the novel, and even changed the villain Lily. You are the only person with self-awareness in this world besides me. So, isn't it good for us to be together?" I shook my head in disagreement. They just don't know this is a novel. But this doesn't mean they don't have consciousness. Just like Lily, she also changed because of me. She is no longer the Lily in the book. Because she is a living person, different experiences will create different personalities. Let me guess, what is your purpose in coming to this world? She slightly curved the corner of her mouth, but her eyes were full of certainty. Saving Lily, right? Then let me destroy her. I didn't expect the female lead Rose, after awakening, to completely collapse her character setting. To threaten me, she actually said such vicious words. Rose was true to her word. Clearly, the day before, we were still good friends, but just because I didn't accept her confession, the next day she started to retaliate. She didn't know where she got Lily's photos from after editing them, spreading rumors that Lily was being kept by an older man to study at a prestigious school, and moreover, my relationship with Lily was also not clean. In an instant, rumors spread, and Lily became the subject of gossip. But Lily had been prepared for this. She directly presented her donation record book and bank statements, proving that her money was all pocket money given by me, and moreover, the remaining money was not used to buy luxury goods but was all donated by her. The rumors automatically died down. After all, no gold-digging girl would sell her body to donate to children in mountainous regions. However, regarding the rumors about me and her, she smiled indifferently, saying to others, if I could be with my brother, then of course it would be even better. After all, we have no blood relations. I was stunned, completely confused. Although Rose knew the entire plot of the novel, her methods were so terrible, still like a primary school student, sticking cockroaches in Lily's desk. Lily, expressionless, directly crushed the cockroach with a tissue, but when she saw me come, she screamed, "Brother, so scary, brother, come comfort me." Friday, Lily was on duty for cleaning. I cooked dinner, and seeing she still hadn't returned home, I went back to school to find her. Rose actually locked her in the classroom. "Brother, that Rose likes brother. She's bullying me because she wants to be with brother," Lily said with a bit of grievance. "I will persuade her again," I sighed. Rose now was really a bit crazy. Perhaps because from a young age she knew this was a fake world. She was very cynical, but this couldn't become an excuse for her to go crazy. I didn't understand why the originally kind female lead had become like this, but I only wanted to protect Lily so that the mission could proceed smoothly. She always says some things like female lead, side character in front of me. Do you know what she's talking about? Lily blinked her eyes, looking at me. In her eyes there was a hint of scrutiny. At that moment, I suddenly felt maybe she already knew something, but I could only shake my head at her, pretending I also didn't know. "So, you also don't know what she's talking about?" Lily sighed, then said again, "But it doesn't matter, all of this should also come to an end. What she wants is too extravagant. This greedy woman should disappear from our sights soon." I didn't pay attention to what Lily said, only feeling these were all words spoken in anger by her. As a result, at the weekend, I received a call from the police station. Lily was actually pushed down from the library rooftop by Rose. I hurriedly rushed to the hospital. Lily, with a pale face, lay on the bed, smiling at me. "Brother, it's over. That woman probably won't appear in front of us again." The sunlight outside the window shone on her side face, her amber eyes, long eyelashes casting a small shadow on her eyelids. At this moment, she was as beautiful as an angel. These past few days, she had been telling me she wanted to eliminate Rose from our lives. I didn't expect she would use such an extreme method. Today was probably a trap she set for Rose, leading and inciting her to jump down herself. Otherwise, with Rose's guts, she couldn't possibly do this to this extent. At this moment, I suddenly realized it seemed I also couldn't change her. She was still the ruthless character in the novel, not hesitating to harm herself to achieve her goals. Looking at her weak appearance, I only felt both heartache and sadness. Why do you have to do this? Clearly, there are other ways, I said with some bitterness. Isn't it because she dared to steal my brother? This kind of greedy woman, of course, must be put into a reformatory for me to be at ease. Lily smiled sweetly at me, then comforted me again. "Brother, don't worry. It's just the 4th floor, a minor fracture. In the future, could you not harm yourself again?" Looking at her on the hospital bed, I suddenly remembered the ending of the original story. To completely possess Ethan, she hugged him and jumped into a sea of fire. This was a girl I had personally raised. I couldn't watch her treat herself like this. "Then you have to promise me, don't let other women get close to you. Otherwise, I will go crazy." She looked at me, her eyes full of seriousness. I was shocked in my heart, trying to force out a smile. "In the future, we will all have someone we like. We'll have our own families, but I only like brother. Brother is my home. Brother, I want to marry you." Lily stared intently into my eyes, as if afraid of missing any expression of mine, just like when she begged me for toys when she was little. Every time she wanted something, she would look at me with this expression, making people unable to refuse. If I said I didn't realize her feelings for me, it would definitely be a lie, but I didn't expect her feelings for me to be so straightforward and intense. Different from Rose, Lily hadn't awakened, but her feelings for me could actually surpass the plot, surpass the instinct to like the male lead, breaking her own fate. But all of this shouldn't be like this. I wasn't her destiny. I was just a wandering soul occupying an NPC identity, wanting to return home. This wasn't a world that belonged to me. I shook my head at her. "Lily, you are still young. You don't understand what true love is. Your feelings for me are just dependence. She didn't rush to refute. Instead, the corner of her mouth slightly curved up in a smile, but her eyes revealed a hint of coldness and strangeness. In other words, brother, you don't like me? The kind of liking between a man and a woman? I nodded to her with difficulty. Yes, I only see you as a younger sister. I didn't know why, but when I said this sentence, I felt a little sadness in my heart. I was very sad, also afraid of making her sad. This was a girl I had personally raised, but I was not worthy of possessing. I could only secretly protect her, watching her go to someone else's side. She lowered her eyelashes, long eyelashes slightly trembling, her eyes again a bit dim. Okay, if that's the case, when I'm discharged from the hospital, I will return to the Tran family. You've worked hard for 10 years. I will repay double the money you spent in these 10 years. Lily was the lost daughter of the Tran family. Initially, because Mrs. Tran couldn't accept the betrayal, she was sent to the orphanage, but a few years ago, Mrs. Tran passed away. The Tran family had repeatedly come to us, hoping Lily could return. Lily in the original story also returned to the Tran family from the orphanage in high school and was engaged to Ethan when she was in university. But before, Lily had always firmly refused the Tran family's wishes to continue living with me. This was the first time she told me she wanted to leave me, to return to her own home. I smiled bitterly at her, and finally could only nod. As long as you are happy. She was as good as her word. The day she was discharged from the hospital, she contacted the Tran family to come and pick her up. The Tran family, to celebrate her return, even specially held a banquet. She severed her relationship with me, becoming the Tran family's daughter. In a certain respect, wasn't the plot developing in the right direction? This way, she would be even more likely to marry the male lead Ethan. But I didn't know why. After she left, my heart felt empty. Lily seemed to be deeply hurt by me. She transferred a large sum of money to me, then blocked all contact methods with me. Meeting me at school was also like a stranger, not even glancing at me. Rose was sentenced to 5 years in prison. The Luke family also declined. Originally, the Tran, Ethan, and Luke families were in a triadic balance. Now the collapse of the Luke family had broken the balance. To quickly divide the power, the Tran and Ethan families had gotten engaged. Lily and Ethan were the main characters of this political marriage. Lily is really ungrateful. Her brother treated her so well before. Now she's back at the Tran family and doesn't even care about her brother anymore. That's right. I used to think she was kind. Now it seems she's really ungrateful. I heard she cut off contact with Ethan Lynn as soon as she returned. I really didn't expect her to be this kind of person. Occasionally, classmates would gossip about our affairs, Lily and me. Every time, Lily was the one criticized. It's not like you think. I was the one who hurt Lily first. I would go over to explain to them. Even though we no longer had any relationship now, I couldn't bear to hear others speak ill of her, even just one sentence. The Tran family was a large family with a great business and complex power struggles. I knew the original plot clearly, so I knew Lily was not living well now either. Her happiness value kept decreasing. In less than a month, it had dropped from the previous 60 to 40. I returned home, looking at the empty house. My mind was full of Lily's image. No one pestered me to make delicious food for her anymore. No one noisily walked beside me anymore. But as long as I waited until she and Ethan got married, I could go home. Wasn't this my original purpose? But why was my heart so empty, as if missing a piece? I flipped through the previous chat history, staring blankly. But this chat had been blocked by her long ago. Only a few red exclamation marks remained for me. Lily was arranged by the Tran family to study abroad. Ethan, deeply in love with Lily, naturally followed along. Before, it was Ethan asking me to help him make an impression in front of Lily. Now it was me asking him to report Lily's recent situation to me. Every time I heard him say Lily was not used to the food outside and had lost weight, I felt very heartbroken. So, I taught Ethan how to make some home-cooked dishes, telling him to occasionally make them for Lily. According to the recipes I gave, she still really liked the food I made, saying it had the taste of home. Ethan reported to me, a little excited because of his initial success. The corner of my mouth revealed a bitter smile. As long as she liked it, that was good. Tell her to eat more rice. Muddle-headed. Although currently she still didn't like me, she had agreed to let me come cook for her once a week. Ethan continued to say. I gave Ethan the recipes for several dishes Lily usually liked to eat. I couldn't treat Lily just as a side character. Lily and I had relied on each other for 10 years. Every day she was not by my side, I was worried and uneasy, afraid she would get sick or hungry outside. Every day I sent many messages to her chat box, but she never replied. Once, Ethan mentioned my name in front of her. Lily got angry, telling him never to mention me again. I didn't know why. Just because I didn't respond to her confession, she treated me like this. But in the days she was not by my side, I was like a walking corpse, not eating well every day. I must also like her, I think so. It's just a pity that we were not people of the same world. I was just an NPC doing missions in a book, with no belonging of my own. After graduating from university, Lily and Ethan returned home. Although Lily still didn't like Ethan, under Lily's influence, Ethan had actively participated in charitable activities, also considered happy and at ease. In this world, I had no relatives and no friends. After Lily left me, I had lost the focus of my life. But time seemed to be able to smooth out everything. Several years passed, and I became used to being alone again, only occasionally passing by the road we once walked together, feeling sad. Lily of this world was not the strongest villain in the book. From love brain to career brain, less than a year after returning home, she had firmly grasped the Tran family in her hands. Lily became the person in power of the Tran Corporation, yet she didn't cancel the engagement, even though at this time no one in the Tran family could decide her fate anymore. I thought she probably also liked Ethan, or had gotten used to him following by her side. After all, the power of the plot was very difficult to change. But Ethan told me they only had a contract marriage. Lily still refused to accept him, but these past few years he had let go. He felt doing charity was more meaningful than being in love. Now they were just charity partners, simply doing charity together every month. He also no longer liked Lily. They were more suitable as friends. Lily said she has someone she likes. I've been used to it for so many years. Actually, now I feel that compared to liking her, I prefer doing charity more. After marrying Lily, I will hand over the entire Tran family to her. Then I will wholeheartedly devote myself to charity. After all, compared to liking a kind person, it's better to be a kind person yourself. Ethan said with a calm expression. I felt what he said was very reasonable. Wanting to like what kind of person, then become that kind of person yourself, rather than placing hope on others. The Tran and Ethan families were now the two most powerful families. In a few months, it would be the wedding ceremony. Media had already started to widely report relevant information. It was just unexpected that the person I could see every day before, whom I raised, now to know her news, I had to go through the media. And her happiness value was also gradually decreasing, down to 30. Besides this, I didn't know any specific news about her. One day before the wedding, I was kidnapped. I thought I was being robbed of property, but when I opened my eyes, I saw Lily standing in front of me. Compared to the innocent and simple appearance a few years ago, now she was even more mature and beautiful. She had large waves in her hair. The makeup on her face was delicate and elegant. Long time no see, brother. She slightly raised her chin, her posture a bit aloof, but at this moment, her happiness value, which had originally dropped to 30, suddenly soared to 80. What was happening? Could it be because there were less than 24 hours left until the wedding? Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. I didn't expect she would kidnap me in this way. After all, before, when I wanted to contact her, she blocked all contact methods with me. I'm not going to get married anymore. She shook her head, lowering her eyelashes. I want to disappoint you. Maybe you can't return to your original world anymore. I looked at her doubtfully. Could it be that she had also awakened? Rose told you the plot of this world back in university? You already knew my kindness to you was just a mission? For many years, all of it was fake? You have to complete the mission to return home. She smiled self-deprecatingly. You always wanted to pair me with Ethan. You thought that only when I married him could you complete the mission. Before, I also guessed like this, so I severed my relationship with you, got engaged to Ethan. I wanted to sacrifice myself to send you home. Hearing her say this, I couldn't help but feel shocked in my heart, my fingertips even tearing. Lily had actually sacrificed so much for me. Brother, I'm sorry. It's because I couldn't control myself, missed you too much, wanted to possess you. But I also wanted you to go home. I was afraid you would be like me, losing your loved ones. I was afraid you would be like me, suffering. I couldn't help but reach out and pat her back, just like when I comforted her when she was little. No matter what happened, she was still the little girl who needed me. She bit her lip, looking at me with a slightly hesitant expression. But yesterday I awakened. I already know your specific mission is about my happiness value. Haven't you noticed? Even though I have obtained the Tran family, got engaged to Ethan, my happiness value still didn't increase, but instead decreased. I nodded. It's true, these past few years her happiness value has been very low. But she refused to see me. I only thought it was because she was wronged at the Tran family. Lily, I softly called her name. Because only you can give me happiness. I don't want you to just be my younger sister anymore. Ethan Lynn, only when I am with you does my happiness value increase. Since it's like this, whether you like me or not, I don't want to suppress my feelings anymore. She hugged my shoulders, pressing her lips to mine. I began to face my feelings for Lily. I discovered that actually I also liked her. It was just that before, limited by the plot, I had never thought about getting involved in this world. But she had been so brave, why should I always retreat? In this world with her, why did I still need to return? So, I decided to give up the mission, but she didn't believe in my feelings. Even though I had expressed my love to her, she still felt I was deceiving her, so that her happiness value would increase, so I could return to my original world. On her birthday, I cooked longevity noodles for her, and also prepared a candlelight dinner. She drank until she was tipsy, looking at me with a hazy expression. Don't even think about deceiving me, Ethan Lynn. I can't let you go. If you want to like someone else, I will lock you up. I also won't allow you to return to your world. I tousled her hair. Silly girl, I won't go back. The place where you are is my world. I didn't know if it was because Lily had been abandoned since childhood that she lacked a sense of security. Her happiness value increased to 99 and then stopped moving. I thought she still didn't believe I would stay in this world with her, deliberately holding back a little happiness value, not letting me complete the mission. And I only wanted to try my best to treat her well, making up for the shortcomings in the past few years. We held a grand wedding, and Ethan handed over the company to us, running to mountainous regions alone to become a volunteer teacher, working very enthusiastically. Outside, there were even rumors that Ethan, because of being jilted, had lost all hope in everything, but for insiders like us, we all regarded it as a joke. Today, Lily and I went shopping in the shopping mall, unexpectedly seeing Rose, who had just been released from prison, holding a knife and appearing in front of us. She rushed towards Lily, her mouth constantly cursing viciously, all because of you. This vicious side character, I lost everything because of you. Die. The knife flashed with a cold light, stabbing straight towards us. In that critical moment, I lunged forward, shielding Lily, then my abdomen instantly felt cold, fresh blood gushing out like it didn't cost money. Ethan. Lily's voice changed with tension. She hugged me, trembling, helping me press on the wound. Rose was controlled by security, her mouth still cursing. I felt the loss of blood, only feeling my consciousness also disappearing with my blood. You can't die, Ethan. I was wrong. I shouldn't have kept you in this world. In the moment I was being carried into the ambulance, Lily's happiness value suddenly turned to 100. Before my eyes appeared the option to return to my original world. Ethan, if you want to go, then go back quickly. You can't die. Please, please don't like me anymore. I don't need you by my side anymore. Lily's voice was choked with sobs, almost begging me. I knew she was afraid I would really die, so she tried to make her happiness value reach 100, wanting me to take advantage of still being alive to quickly return. But if I chose to return, wouldn't I never see her again? I didn't know if the body in this world could survive, but if I really returned to my original world, I would completely lose her. Gamble once then. I gave up the option to return. Either die or continue living with her. I couldn't accept my world without Lily. Might as well let me die. Thinking like this, I gradually lost consciousness. When I woke up, I saw Lily with swollen red eyes sitting by the bed. Ethan Lynn, are you a fool? As she spoke, her tears started to fall again. I reached out to wipe away the tears on her cheeks. What are you crying for? If that knife had stabbed 2 inches deeper, I wouldn't have made it. She grasped my hand. Ethan, why didn't you go back? Clearly, at that time you could have. I interrupted her. A world without you is no different from death to me. She looked at me with red eyes, just like a pitiful little rabbit. Now you believe that I really love you. I won't go back. I intertwined my fingers with hers. She nodded, then gently kissed my cheek. Ethan, I love you. I love you too. You are my whole world. Even if I give up everything, I won't give up you. Extra story after wedding. After a grand wedding, Ethan Lynn and Lily Tran officially stepped into married life. Although they had overcome storms and affirmed their love for each other, their journey of building happiness was not always paved with roses. Lily Tran carried wounds from her past abandonment, always harboring unease about being left behind once again. She loved Ethan Lin deeply, but because of this, she sometimes became possessive and controlling of him to an excessive degree. Ethan Lin clearly understood the hidden pains in his wife's heart. He patiently loved and used practical actions to prove his sincere feelings. He always listened, shared, and was tolerant of Lily's unstable emotions, helping her step by step heal her heart and build firm trust in their love. Gradually, Lily learned to open her heart more, trusting Ethan more. She realized that he was not just someone fulfilling a mission, but also someone who truly loved her, willing to be by her side, sharing with her all the joys and sorrows of life. Their love, nurtured by understanding and tolerance, became increasingly deep and lasting. In work, Lily was still a strong and decisive woman, but when she returned home, beside Ethan Lin, she transformed into a gentle and spoiled little kitten. They enjoyed simple but happy moments together, watching movies together, strolling together, chatting together, sharing their plans and dreams. Ethan Lin loved everything about Lily, both her strengths and weaknesses. To him, she was the most perfect woman. One day, Lily announced the good news that she was pregnant. Ethan Lin was ecstatic with happiness. He tenderly cared for his wife in every possible way. They prepared together to welcome their little angel, who would bring more joy and laughter to their family. When their child was born, Ethan Lin fully realized the meaning of family happiness. He had once been a lonely and lost person in this strange world, but now he had a complete and warm home, with a wife who loved him wholeheartedly and a lovely little daughter. He never regretted his decision to give up the opportunity to return to his old world, because only beside Lily had he found true happiness. Only then did he feel this world truly belonged to him. Lily was his whole world, the perfect happiness of his life, a love that was a lifetime.